The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear. And the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. H.P. Lovecraft. Okay, Mr. Lovecraft, then please explain why I am fearing for my life in just a town square with very visible humanoid creatures before I even encountering one of your cosmic horrors! What the fuck? Hello everyone and welcome to this video of me rambling for no reason because I needed to upload something. About a year ago when I played Elden Ring as my first Souls game, I mentioned that I wanted to dive deeper into Fromsoft games. And as you may expect, I played completely different things. So after acquiring a PS4 from my cousin years after it became relevant and buying Bloodborne for 10 bucks off of a random person, I finally decided to let it collect dust for half a year until realizing I can still play that game before buying something else. So here we are. Oh boy, I forgot what this was like. Because the only other FromSoft game I have ever played was Elden Ring, I'm just gonna compare my experience of that game
These foolish ambitions to rest.
to my experience of this game.
To show your true face, eh?
And I gotta be honest here, what the fuck is up with the difficulty? Yes, I know these games are supposed to be hard, but holy shit, it took me about an hour to get past this stupid town square, and then I died to fucking wolves to repeat the whole cycle over again, to then realize I could have rushed to get a shortcut all along to make my life much easier. It also doesn't help that your healing item in this game is a consumable that you have to keep restocking, because that made trying bosses over and over and over again a bit more of a pain in the ass. Luckily, after that hellish start, the game became a bit easier to go through areas. Okay, why the fuck am I getting shot at? Despite a higher difficulty than Elden Ring, this game became really fun once I figured out you have a button to switch up your weapon a bit. Because of this, I tried out a few different weapons like this cane over here and oh my god, it is a whip now and I'm in love with a weapon. I swear, going from attacking with a simple cane to whipping every enemy around you with a press of a button is one of the most satisfying things to do. It especially becomes really cool once you hit it with some fire paper versus a boss and you deal those satisfying numbers of damage. It also makes it look way more cinematic before you die. Back a year ago when I played Elden Ring, I was fully convinced that this was supposed to be a horror game. But calling Elden Ring a horror game and then comparing it to Bloodborne is like calling a toddler's drawing a masterpiece and then comparing it to the Mona Lisa. What I'm saying is, this game feels more like an actual horror game because I'm even trembling when trying to get past a fucking simple town square. Instead of actual enemies, you can identify what they are, you are put up against these things? Yeah, Lovecraft was right. The unknown is pretty scary. I mean, there are recognizable things like werewolves and stuff, but to be honest, when walking up to this, I have no clue what I'm looking at. Even when things are recognizable, it is still a horror. I want to mention that usually I am not that scared of spiders, but this game? Oh god no, I do not want to walk in there. I can at least cheese the big boy, if you do it right. Me being scared in this game got so bad at a certain point that I just started slashing at pretty much everything I saw. And I'm not even sure if that one was an enemy. At least the bosses usually just give you that "what the fuck is that" moment only once until you keep dying at them. See? This thing ain't so bad.
Hello there.
Oh god damn it. Speaking of the bosses, I realize now how forgiving Elden Ring was because repeatedly dying to a boss in that game was just a minor inconvenience and a small time loss. In Bloodborne, however, you gotta walk an entire marathon every time you die. To give you an example, dying to Godric in Elden Ring meant just spawning outside the mist with all your potions and then going into the arena, die, see one loading screen and then you repeat that. In Bloodborne, when you die to Martyr Logarius, you have to go to the elevator, walk through this room of enemies, go up the ladder, go to the stairs up the rooftop, fall down to this slightly thinner rooftop, carefully drop down to this other rooftop, then even more carefully drop down again to walk on this pixel perfect little roof for a bit, then drop down to this bridge, now only climb up the last ladder and walk into the boss arena, die, and do all of that over again. Anyways, the bosses were fun to fight. You got your big beasts, your fast humans, your invisible boss you have to find before you can fight them, and these silly alien dudes where just one tiny one is the boss and oh god he's big now. Now, you might be wondering, is this video just me complaining about the game for a few minutes? Yes! Because a normal review was too boring to make. Do I recommend this game to you? Hell f***ing yes! This game, its setting, the gameplay, the switching weapons, the bosses, the Lovecraftian horror, everything makes this game an amazing experience and I can't imagine what other FromSoft games I've been missing out on. But before I play those, I have just one more thing to do in this game. I have become powerful. I have become unstoppable. You cannot beat me now! Can you?